Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and Mindset, the podcast where mindset meets movement, healing meets action, and conversations create transformation. Me today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kiki. I really appreciate it. Love your energy.
Thank you.
Uh, and I love your shirt too. That's a pretty amazing thing.
Thank
Um,
you.
I am Mark Winters. I'm a singer-songwriter from beautiful Sugarland, Texas. I am just freshly back from the Good Vibes Highway Tour the spring edition, and just had a great time out on the road. And I love writing about all the people that I meet and places I visit with a positive spin, and maybe a little bit nerdy too. So that's what I'm all about.
I love that. Thank you for being here today. So, we're going to go into the mindset moment because our experiences kind of shift how we see life and how we go through mindset shifts, aha moments, and all the things. So, what mindset shift changed the way you approach life?
Yeah, I would say you know a little bit of a backstory, my history. I started off. I love math. I love science. I love understanding how the world works. I'm very curious, and that led me to be an aerospace engineer. So doing the thing over there, enjoying myself, and then I decided to do something musical. I'd never done anything musical in my life, and so I picked up a guitar to play a song for my wife for our anniversary. Surprised her in our favorite Italian restaurant, and man, the connection, the I don't know, the transcendence, just the ability to sort of get on another level with someone was
Mm,
so profound when I sang the song to her that it just really made me consider music more seriously as as an endeavor, a pursuit, as a passion. And I started writing my own stuff, and so I would say that the shift for me was this movement. I had a small piece of my personality. I was creative, but most of it was sort of, you know, science, engineering, business, that sort of stuff. And then, this little the little flame of artistry in my head blossomed in that moment, and it's become a huge part of my life now. It's all I do is music, and so I would say my aha moment was that moment. I'm chasing that feeling all the time now.
yeah, that is so amazing. I love to hear stories like that. So, thank you for sharing that with us. How did that all come about? Like, when did you know that that was a part of your passion or your purpose?
Yeah. Growing up in school, I had this dual affinity, right? So I love sports, and so you'd find me out on track or playing football or tennis or whatever. So I was involved in athletics, and then I had this aptitude for math and science and understanding the world, so that I could enjoy my athletics better, probably. But yeah, so I had these two aptitudes, and that really shaped kind of how I thought about the world. And then, my grandparents were influential as well. My dad's parents, my grandma was a nurse, and my grandpa was an engineer. And then my mom's dad was a truck driver, but extremely mechanically inclined. And so I remember often sitting out in East Texas. Winnie was where my grandparents were from, and so sitting out there, uh, it's right near Beaumont, and fixing stuff in my grandpa's garage, and doing woodworking in my other grandpa's garage. And so I think I got this really great foundation of encouragement to tinker and explore, and so uh, that all sort of led me to aerospace engineering. I really love applied physics, mathematics. I love the feeling of flying and racing motorcycles and downhill skiing, anything that, rollerblade, anywhere where I can kind of get in a groove and feel the gravity pulling me, right? And
Mhm.
so that I think that just love of that feeling helped me pick aerospace too. And then the math in aerospace is very uh, mysterious.
Yes.
It doesn't, there's not a lot of solutions still, even with all this massive AI everywhere. They still can't solve some of the equations to understand atmospheric flight. And so there's a mystery to it still, you know?
I love that you describe that as mysterious because it is. I'm more of
you
an
know,
English person myself, English and
uh,
history. But
uh,
I love how your eyes light up when you talk about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had the worst English teacher on the planet in elementary school, and that really jaded me against. I mean, I love writing, but it
Hmm.
just jaded me against the I guess being more serious about English and such. So yeah, my hat's off to you. I had a bad mentor over there, so I ended up going a different direction. You know.
It happens. It happens. It's unfortunate because a lot of people miss out on their true calling because they take the words or opinion of somebody else who
Yeah.
just had to settle in what they were doing, so they couldn't pour in to the person to pursue their dreams because they didn't get a chance to pursue their own.
Yeah, yeah, that's unfortunate. I think you're right. Teachers are so influential in your life.
Mhm.
Just it's sad if you get the wrong one, you know.
Yeah. So, what life experience forced you to grow the most?
Ooh, I would say, uh, having my daughter, uh, you might think you're a selfless person, and you might think that you understand what love really can make you do. But yeah, I'd say the most transformational for me was watching my daughter come out of my wife is like, oh my God.
Hmm.
Yeah, phenomenal on so many levels and transformational from a life point of view and from a just a mentality point of view. Like, this life just isn't about you anymore. And as much as you love your spouse, having a child dependent on you is a whole nother level of responsibility, you know?
Absolutely. I agree. Like, my greatest joy is being a parent, for real.
Yeah, yeah, how many kids do you have?
I have two. I have
Okay.
a daughter and a son. My daughter is the artist. The paintings that you see
Oh,
behind me, she's an
yeah.
artist and a writer. My son is going into his senior year of high school, and he
Okay.
loves music too. Made all state in choir last year, so or this
Okay.
year. So I'm excited to see where that journey takes him because he's very serious about it. He's very good at it too. Not being biased as his mom,
Uh-huh.
he's just really, really good at it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
I think being a parent, it just it makes you look at yourself like, wow, I didn't notice about myself, but now
Hmm.
I do
Yeah,
when it
for
comes to
sure.
your kids. Yes.
Yeah, and you need to start thinking about what you're going to teach them, right? Like what
Hmm.
what parts of your personality do you want to not expose them to, right? You start sort
Right.
of censoring yourself a little bit, like, all right, I need to clean it up a little bit here, you know?
Absolutely. Yes. So we're gonna throw some love question, a love question in there. How has love, whether self-love or relationships, shifted your mindset?
Yeah, my parents got divorced when I was a teenager, and it was a very traumatic thing for me. And so when I was, you know, thinking about finding somebody myself to connect with and make a family with, that was in my mind, like don't make a bad choice. And so I was very thoughtful, and I don't know, uh, got probably into my mid 20s, and I hadn't really found a high quality person that I really liked.
Mhm.
And so decided, guess I just won't get married. And then Eureka, my wife, shows up and just takes me on this journey that I never would have gone on, right? I'd sort of given up on love, right?
Mhm.
And she's amazing. She's a nurse and a wildlife rehabber. She's got all these amazing compassion traits, and she's such a perfect puzzle fit for me, right? We just complete each other so well. It's been a journey I never thought I would go on. And it's brought me the greatest joys of my life with her and with my children. Um, and then it's, you know, I make this career pivot from
Right.
a real job to music, uh, which is now a passion, a job and a passion.
Mhm.
Um, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna make it work. You chase your dream, and just be who you need to be, and I'll be right there for you." And it's been an amazing expression of the love that someone says they have, but then you see it in action, you're like, "Wow, that's pretty
Right.
awesome." Yeah.
That is awesome. So I'm so happy for you, Mark. And I can tell that Eureka is very special by the way that you talk about her and the way that
Uh-huh.
your eyes dance a little bit. So
Yeah.
I hope she gets the chance to watch this interview and see that.
I'll share it with her for sure.
Yes. Also, let's talk about finding joy in the small moments. How important do you believe that that is for life, love, and mindset?
Yeah, I used to not pay attention to any of that. I'm extremely competitive and goal oriented, and so you know, go, 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 and uh, and I'm also extremely durable. I've just been through a lot of things in my life, and so you know, I really never thought about you know the small moments or taking care of myself or anything else. And I think you know. Uh, my wife is very much the opposite of that, right? And so she makes me slow down and she makes me, breathe in. And so over time, it's really helped me become more mindful. And I'm so thankful that I have this mindfulness. We do yoga together. We do some other you know breathing things together and whatever else. And it's as I got as I moved more into this artistic or creative side of myself, you know, I think it exposes you to a lot more emotional journeys that you go on, and you end up, you know, uh, you the way you ground yourself feels so different in this artistic expression. I'm performing for people, I'm connecting, it's an emotional thing, I'm sharing. And so very different than engineering and business, right? And so for me, I think uh, having an awareness of the small moments, the small victories. Um, it's not, you know, when I put a song out, it's nice when thousands of people listen to it or comment on something, but it's the individual moments, the small moments where someone tells me a story about something happening. And I wrote a song about, losing my brother and the journey, you know, guilt, remorse, and and the journey to find, peace in those moments. And people share their stories with me when they hear the song. And so, whether it's digitally, I'm interacting with people, or when I'm playing a show live, and there are small moments in the show, a small smile from someone in the crowd or someone who's vibing with what you're doing. And so you find people that you're connecting with. I think those small moments when I'm out on tour, I get a chance to go hiking or enjoy the community I'm in. So I think I've become much more appreciative of the small moments and the small moments of joy um, that really make, I guess, fill up the well inside me, right? Of need for love and and companionship on the journey, and that's really been pretty cool. And I don't think I would ever would have gone there if I hadn't taken up music, as a profession.
Wow. And I love to hear you talk about it because I try to always find joy in the small things. Like the small things matter most to me in life because I am an earth sign. So I'm all about being grounded and having that balance and experience. I could see a little ladybug on just walking along something and I'm like, wow, I wonder where she's going or he's going, something like
Oh, I
that.
love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when the trees dance, I say when the wind is blowing, the trees are dancing. I love to hear
Oh,
that. or just listening to the sound of rain. It's those small things that matter so much to me.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, all right. So, just because they're now we're on the same wavelength. All right. So, I wrote a song called uh, Find My Love, and it's about all the little things that we do for each other
Mhm.
that nurture relationships and strengthen them. Right. And then on top of that, and you mentioned the trees, I wrote a song called Dancing Tree. Ah, and it's
Oh,
exactly that moment. Oh, they're dancing. And I just sort of become one with them in the song. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Here we are vibing together already, Kiki.
that gave me goosebumps, like for real.
Oh, what?
I love it. I love it. That is so amazing. So we're going to talk about you being a professional optimist. How,
Oh,
why that particular phrase? I get it, but for someone who's listening, explain what that is and what it means to you.
yeah. You know, I guess it's just ever since I've been born, I always am looking for the best in people that I meet, right? I want to know what's cool about you, right? Already I can see, right? You have such a beautiful smile and you have this positive affect, right? And you just have a genuine joy in talking to people. And so I'm always looking for that, right? Here's, KeKe is cool, and I'm looking for the best of KeKe or other people that I meet. When I'm in a place, I'm looking for the natural beauty in the place.
Mhm.
Even when I get knocked down in life in some way, I don't stay down. I'm looking for, okay, here I am now. Where do I want to go? Let's find the best pathway through it. I'm always looking for that silver lining in a situation.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, when I write, have a songwriting association in town here that I'm a part of, and when we're doing sharing songs with each other in a circle or something like that, most of my other peers are not positive like that. Songwriters tend to be a little of a more emotional lot, and so I got a guy singing about addiction and a guy singing about being kicked in, by life. We go around the circle, everybody's got some kind of negative thing going on. And we get to me and I'm like, hey guys, I love the
Yeah.
world. Let's go. They're like, all right, dude. Sometimes they tell me, thank you for lifting us up. And sometimes they're like, man, that's over the top. So
Mhm.
I'd say, and then the scientist in me, thinks about this natural inclination. And one of the things that I talk about is sort of, a marriage of my science mind and my poet mind and my positivity. You know, I have a signature, think like a proton, right?
Oh.
And so, protons are positive and
Mhm.
protons are stable too,
Mhm.
right? And so for me, I try to bring a positive perspective to people who come to a show. I try to make sure that people who are coming in, I meet them where they are, and I try to create an environment where we're all a community and we're on this journey together. And I'm sharing, a lot of the positive things like staying in the rhythm with the people around you, or finding your love in the small things, or you know, uh, being mindful of the signal you're putting out and taking in. And so there's all these things that if when you come to a show, we're on a journey together. I even do some collaborative things where I'll do some, we'll all get in a rhythm together as the audience, right? So I'm playing a thing, right? And everybody starts clapping, and I got people doing the thing, and then I'll recite like half poetry, half poem, or half poetry, half song to the rhythm that we've all created together, right? And I'll get people to
Ooh.
join in. And so things like that, to me help create a sense of community uh, and a little bit of a, some joy, right, for all of us being there together. And you leave the room maybe a little with a few extra protons that you didn't have coming in.
I love that. I love that because when I used to do writing workshops, I would always start off a story and have everybody in attendance add to it. And by
Oh
the
yeah.
end of it, everybody has helped me write a story. And I said, who knows? It might be in a book. You never know.
That's
But it
awesome.
just lightens up everything because people can be a little bit uptight when they're in a new environment around new people and stuff like that. So I love that you find a rhythm in the people that's in that space to create an experience. That's what you're doing. You're creating a magical experience for them so that they can take it and share it with someone else that may have not been in attendance. I think we need more people like this in the world, Mark. And thank you for leaving your mark on so many people's lives, like in a positive way. We need more people to shed that positive light and be enthusiastic and optimistic because life be lifing and it's
Mm.
hard. We all are going through different things. So are you gonna be negative about it and attract all that negativity? Or are you gonna do something positive about it and put out something that other people may need in a positive way?
Yes, I wish more people thought like the last part of that, right? Let's just think about, where you are right now. Um, I mean, we're all human,
Mhm.
we all get down in the dumps sometimes, but if a friend of yours is encouraging you in some way while you're down in the dumps, that's always helpful, right?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to go into our reality check segment because growth sounds good, but we know that it's uncomfortable. And I really don't think that it's supposed to be comfortable because it doesn't push you if it's comfort. There's no growth in the comfort zone. So, what's an uncomfortable truth people need to understand and know about mindset?
Um, wow, I learned this from my wife. Okay. Um, like uh, we're not perfect. And it's great for us to share our imperfections and failures with our friends and family because not only does it help you in sharing that, it also helps them. They may be going through something very similar and they may be too embarrassed or too uptight to talk about it and think about it. And so they don't end up finding resolution, right? Uh, or their own way through a situation. And so I just see my wife, she lives and breathes that. She's, you might call her brutally honest. She's going to tell you how it is, right? But it's all honesty and it's not with malice. And so for me, um, you know, life is hard. I have a tendency to want to be perfect and to want to present a perfect front, and that doesn't help anybody, right?
Right.
Authenticity does, and I know our kids and our friends and family have all learned a ton from just my wife's, you know, honesty. And so I would say, yeah, we're not perfect, so get over it, right? Get out of your own way and talk to people about your imperfections, and be at peace with it, right? That's just a part of who you are.
Exactly. And that makes you who you are, which is an amazing thing. Like we were not created the same for a reason. You know
Mm-hmm.
how boring life would be if everybody did the same thing and
Yeah.
talked the same way and walked the same way.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. What belief or habit keeps people stuck the longest, in your opinion?
Ooh. I think uh, people think about progress backwards. They
Mm.
think about, okay, uh, I don't know, like I don't. Somebody's like, I don't like my job, right? Um, and so I don't like my boss, or I don't like what I do, right? I can't imagine doing this for another 20 years. You hear people have friends talk like that. It's, okay, well, you know, it doesn't make any sense to me since I've got such a goal oriented mind. It's like, okay, well, if you don't like your job and you don't, or the profession or the people that you're working with, it doesn't take a lot of effort to go and pick a new career or find a new job that does have what you want. And so someone will be like, my friend will be miserable for 2 or 3 years and they tell you the same thing every time. And it's like, dude, just get a little extra energy one day and do the new thing. Right. And think about the 3 years of happiness that you just gave up because you didn't realize that you're keeping yourself stuck. Right. And so in my mind, you know, I think people's habits sometimes, uh, momentum sometimes just keeps people in a situation. And if you just find a little bit of courage to get out of that momentum cycle and do and look for something that's going to make you happy or a better environment for yourself, it's a little bit of extra energy can take you in a new direction and to a much more joyful life. So I don't know. I think people think about that in an odd way. I've been told lots of times, like I have, friends who struggle with their weight. It's like, okay, well, you know, it's just simple formula, eat healthy, exercise, right? If you do these things, unless you have some kind of a genetic issue, you're going to be healthier and you're not going to carry as much weight and you're going to be happier. But to me, that's the way my brain works. Hey, if you want a thing, go get it, right? I mean, but I guess that's not common. So I try to find ways to as a matter of fact, my daughter's taught me the most, right? We'll go for a walk and she's telling me what's going on in her life. And she's like, this and that and the other. And in the beginning, I would try to tell her how to fix the thing. Like, well, talk to your friend this way and how to talk to your friend that way. And have you thought about this way or that way or the other way, right? And at one point she told me, look, Dad, I don't need Bob the builder telling me how to fix my life. I'm just sharing. I'm venting. And I was like, okay. So I said, well, you know what? That's not how my mind works. So I'm going to ask you when you're sharing a story, or you can tell me in the beginning. I'm venting, Dad, and then I'm going to vent. That way I know. And then
Yeah.
I'm not going to fix it. I'm just there to be your companion and help you vent. So anyway, I don't know. That was a very circuitous way to get there, but there you go. That's what I think.
And I agree with you. I agree with you because I mean we all have a choice. If you don't like the way something is going, have to at least try to turn it in a different direction that's best for you. I learned a long time ago because I'm a life coach that some people just like attention. They don't want resolution. They just like the attention of it all.
Mm.
Because I had to drop a client who always wanted to talk about the same thing over and over, never did any of the homework that I gave. So that lets me know that you likes being where you are. This is not a good fit because I don't dabble in excuses.
Mm.
At least show that you're making progress or willing to do something to change your environment or situation. You're wasting my time and your time if you're not doing the work.
I love that. I don't do excuses. I love that. Well, I love that perspective. Get it done, KeKe.
Get it done. Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. Final question in the reality check. What do people romanticize about healing or success that isn't real?
um, yeah, it kind of thinks. It makes me think about your journey question and the small things. Like I hear people say, "Yeah, you know, when I get this promotion, or when I get this tax refund, or if I could only have a few extra dollars for this or that or the other, then I'd be happy." Right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's so wrong, right? You need to go see KeKe, right? Here it is,
Right.
right? Find those joys in the small moments, right? Enjoy. Like, okay, so I have this conversation with myself sometimes. Like, there are certain things I just don't like about being an independent artist. Um, I have to do social media. I didn't do any social media before I became an artist, and you can't just play at it, and you can't be bad at it, just like you can't be bad at your music, right? So but I don't like it. You have to do it. You have to do it in a way. There's a certain intent that has to be behind it. There's a branding element. So if you're not a good student of it, you're going to harm your project.
Yeah.
And so I had to get over myself and get over my objection. And like I said, just do it. I don't do excuses, right? I want to do it.
Right.
Get good
Right.
at it. Get good at it so you spend less time at it, right? But get good at it and be a student and stay a constant student. And so in my mind, I think uh, there's no one that I know of that's happy, that doesn't take joy in the small moments and in the beauty around them. They could be, super successful financially, or they could be just getting by. But the people who are happy, they wear it. You can, when you talk to them, they wear it, and you're like, oh yeah, you're a happy person, right?
Mhm.
That person, uh, the joy is not coming from their money, right, or their spouse or whatever. The joy is coming from them and their ability to enjoy those small moments. So I think, to me, success, uh, you know, to me, is is someone who's sort of wearing that mantle of happiness and and compassion to other people around them, and they're just sort of a balanced person. And I think that, to me, it's not, you're not going to get it thinking, oh, I need, if I won the lottery, I'd be happy, or whatever. You're not going to get it there, right?
Right.
Your success you're going to find, in your everyday life.
Absolutely. I agree. Because I think happiness comes from in, like with the self-love, self-care, self-compassion, self-discovery, all the things self. You have to take accountability of your own happiness because putting that on somebody else is unfair. If you can't be happy with yourself, how can you expect somebody else to make you happy and it lasts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% with you. Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. Yeah, lots of life lessons in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So where can we listen to the music? How can we support? Where do you hang out on social media, website? Go ahead and plug all things, Mark.
Oh, you know it. You can find me, KeKe. You can find me at Mark Winters Music, everywhere. So you can find me on your streaming platforms there. You can find me on social media, or even on the web, if you look up Mark Winters Music. And I'm on the Good Vibes Highway tour. I just finished the spring leg of it. On the tour, I leave for tour in late August, and I'll be going east and north. And I've got, I think, 68 shows on the list for the fall tour. So love to see folks out there. They'll be sure to catch a few extra protons out at a live show with me. And yeah, just released a new song called "Can I Rise," and love for people to take a look at that and listen to that. And yeah, love to have them along for the journey here. If you're really feeling the need for positive energy, uh, the Good Vibes Highway, I'm sorry, the Positive Vibe Tribe is my email list, so you can sign up for that and catch a few extra notes from the road.
Positive Vibe Tribe. You
Yeah,
put D
that's
on in the front of it.
po-
Or just
positive, just regular positive vibe
uh-huh.
tribe. Yeah.
Okay. So you can connect with Mark and see where he's going. If he's in a city near you, go check him out and get some of those positive vibes put on you and become like a proton.
That's it.
For
You know it,
real.
KeKe.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna go into our mic drop moment, final segment of the podcast. I'll ask the question, and you just answer the first thing that comes to mind, but lead with the thought of a mic drop moment for the listeners. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What is one sentence about life you want people to remember?
Find something kind to do today for a person that you like.
Nice. What is one truth about love everyone should understand?
Love takes a purposeful motion to be sustainable.
Oh. What mindset belief can change someone's life?
Look for the positives that are happening around you every day.
And the final question: when life challenges you and love stretches you, what mindset keeps you grounded?
Be aware of what you need and your capacity to give every day.
And the mic drop. Thank you, Mark. I love that. This has been amazing.
Uh,
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and Mindset. I am back every Thursday on all podcast streaming platforms and YouTube with a new episode. So make sure you go and subscribe, tune in, share with a friend. And if this conversation resonated with you, go ahead and pass it along to someone who may need to hear it. Remember to keep growing, keep loving, and keep being your best, most authentic self. Become like a proton, be steady, be grounded, and just remember that your vibe will attract your tribe. Take it one day at a time, and you will get to where you need to be. We don't do excuses, so stop making them. All right. Until next time, purple hugs. Later.
Kicking it with Kiki.
Yay.